Welcome back to Couple Movie Watchers with.
Ryan and Anna.
We're gonna talk about the whack ass Resident Evil.
Should
Maybe
we
not.
be talking like that?
We're gonna talk about Resident Evil from Netflix. We've finally seen all of it, and to be honest, we're gonna give you our unfiltered review. Is it really worth watching?
Yes.
She says yes. I'm gonna say
Oh no, I'm just saying that we're gonna talk about it.
yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. We watched all of it. I would preference this when it comes to the show. It is not a Resident Evil film, video game. From my understanding, if you're going into it with that point of view, you're gonna be extremely disappointed. Okay, so don't expect anything to resemble. It's just Resident Evil in name only, with a couple of things here and there thrown in together. To be honest, I never really played the game. I only watched the movies, and from my understanding, the movies weren't even that close to the game, besides maybe one or two. And then it just went far left or far right, however you want to take it. But for me, as a zombie person, I'm looking at this from a zombie point of view. And there were some things I thought we'll talk about. Want to talk about the good first?
I would say yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the good first.
Before we start,
I would say for me personally, what I really enjoyed about this film was the actor Paula Nunez. I thought she did really good. In here, she was one of the better actresses in this movie. My favorite character of this whole thing, really, if I was to recommend this show, it would be only to watch it because of Lance Reddick. I think he did a great job in this movie or this TV show. He made it like you felt his presence, and also like when he was kind of funny too. So I thought this was a good range to show his talent doing different things in a TV show, because he's pretty much straightforward from the movies I've seen him in or TV shows I've seen him in. He always has a nice presence, but in this movie, him playing Albert Wesker, you kind of see more of his character. I know a lot of people don't like that they changed the ethnicity of that character, but I think overall he did a great job in this show. Not necessarily from the point of the Whisker character, because I don't know much about the Whisker character, but I thought he was definitely entertaining in the show, and I thought the zombies looked kind of unique. I like the look and feel of the zombies. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. What about you? Because you forced me to watch the show, so
yeah, the whole story was really, for me, it was good. Just seeing the main girls as adults, and then you see them, growing up, where they were like teenagers, and how it got to the point where they're at now. I thought it was interesting, and it just kept me wanting to know how it was gonna go down or how it all started with the virus, And yeah, I like the dad, Albert Wesker. He was cool. Like he was kind of interesting, just his character. Watching this show, it's not really about it. It kind of reminds me of like The Walking Dead, because it started off with zombies and stuff, and like it just becomes about human people just dealing with life.
this kind of reminds me like a high school drama for girls.
That too.
You know what I mean?
That's why I like high school movies, so that's another thing why I was into it.
So you can definitely see, her point of view versus mine, where, so that's what you love. Anything else you want to say before I get into some other thoughts?
Just like the whole point of them going back and forth, it was pretty good, because you could see where they're at now to how it was before, and whether they changed or not as a person. That's the only thing that I was going to say.
All right, time for the good stuff.
The good stuff.
If Hannah didn't want to watch this, I probably never would have finished this series. But overall, I think it ended a lot better than it began. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it started kind of like cheesy. I was like, what the hell is this? The first 2 episodes.
Well, this show had a lot of cheese. I hated the main character, Jade, throughout the whole series. She did get a little bit better. The young one I hated for sure. But the older one, by the final 5 minutes, made me think she's okay. But overall, besides the last 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, I hate this character. Especially her young character. There's nothing that I really liked about her as a character, as a person. She just brought a lot of people bad luck. It just wasn't. I just didn't like her character at all. I didn't even like her sister either. Like they were just kind of, annoying people to me. her sister Billy. So Billy and Jade, I know you like the high school dramas. I don't. I'm not really a fan of it, but overall, I think the movie did have some interesting pointers throughout. Like I said, I love the actress Paula Nunez, who played Evelyn Marquez, and Lance Reddick, who played Albert Whisker. I think they were the redeeming qualities of the show. And I also like the character Richard Baxter, played by Turlough Covery. He actually was really good. Those three were like the main three characters I really enjoyed. Him, Lance, and then Paul. Maybe because they did goofy things towards the end of the movie, end of the TV show, I should say.
I don't even know who that is.
He was the one who was chasing Jade in the beginning, kind of the heavyset guy.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, he was a really good character to me. I thought it was pretty fun. You didn't like him?
Yeah, I liked him. I was trying to think who it was.
Yeah, he was definitely a fun character in the show. Actually, I think a lot of the characters I like were kind of fun and had like a little bit more range. Even she had range after she did what she did without giving it away, and how she managed to survive during like everything that's going on. And actually, you know what? I like her son Simon. He was pretty good too. So yes, actually, you know what? I just didn't like Jade and Billy. That's basically what it comes down to. I'm gonna name all these other characters, but the two main leads, I just didn't like them at all. Like I really, really did not like them at all. And I think that's the biggest problem flaw of this show. Really, I know you did, but I just didn't.
Well, the younger ones, the young Billy and Jade, were actually annoying, especially Jade. She always, she always had some type of anger towards the dad and towards everybody else, and she just hated like everybody.
And they never really gave an explanation.
And
of that.
they don't explain what really happened, because it's just like you supposedly get like their story, but not like all the way through like when they were younger. So it's just interesting to see all of that, and how it went down with like the infection, who got bit and whatnot. Close to the ending, I didn't expect that what happened to certain characters, and it kind of threw me off. Like I was kind of like shook, and it was cool. And then I do like the dad. I did not like the Evelyn Marcus lady. Never liked her at all.
But she was a good villain. That's why you don't like her, right?
I didn't like her. And the other guy, the guy that was trying to get her, like he was funny. He was good.
Yeah, but you didn't like.
He had like a good action.
Yeah, he was actually fun.
Yeah.
But you didn't like Evelyn because of the things that she did, though. That made her a good villain to me. It's not like Billy and Jade where you just didn't like their characters. You know what I mean? Like at least, I would say the older Billy does turn out okay, more interesting as she gets older.
Yeah.
But she had, I don't know, man. We're not gonna. I just, they just really annoy me most of the show. But really, if you're gonna watch this show, really watch it for Lance Reddick. He makes this show worth watching every scene that he's in.
I think I enjoy more of the moments when he was in it than anything else.
You just cut everything else and just make a show about him. Him and also that Richard Baxter character. Yeah. I thought he was pretty good when he was doing his thing. Those two were the main ones that made it very, very, very enjoyable.
But there are some things that were questionable within the series. But to me, it looks like there might be a second season.
I think they already greenlit a second season. So
okay.
We're gonna get a second season.
Hopefully, it because the part where she has a daughter and stuff, it's kind of like weird, some of the things that happens with her. So
yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff.
So it's like, well, why is that possible? So that's just me thinking. Hopefully they answer it in the second season.
Yeah, and to be honest, how they do the flashback back and forth. I think the reason why they have the younger selves is, yes, it's a story telling tool, but also it's probably a budgetary tool too, because the more they spend in the past, the less money it costs when they're in the future. So that's how I look at it. That's part of the reason why they spend so much time in the past and the present.
Well, we'll see how it goes for the second season.
We'll see how it goes. People hated it. They gave it a 3.7 on IMDb. When you look at the Rotten Tomato scores, it has a higher favorable score from the critics at 52, but it still ain't the best, and a 26 from the audience. So the audience really hated this show. Sorry, Anna, you're one of the few people who enjoyed it. But there are people out there who did enjoy it. Like they said, it really depends on who the audience is.
I would give it like a 7.
You give it a 7?
Yeah, your reaction.
So you're
I mean, I like it way better than the Halo TV show. Way better.
I think when you look at Halo and you look at this, Halo actually got a decent score. I think the problem with Halo and the problem with Resident Evil is they have 3 characters that I really hate.
Well, the main characters.
Yeah, well, no, Halo, the character was okay. I just didn't like the girl that he's protecting
Well,
the whole
that's what
way
I'm
through.
saying. That's one
I don't
of the main
remember her name.
characters. Yeah.
She's like the main character for no reason. At least in this show, Jade and Billy, they are the main characters.
Mhm.
The other little girl in that show, she has nothing to do with the Halo series.
Yeah, and then they give her more of the time than what's his name?
Master Chief.
Master Chief,
whatever
yeah.
her name is, yeah.
And he's the main character. Doesn't make sense about this. It's just like throwing some random character into the show, and it's like nobody cares about this character. That's why I give that one a 4.
But you know what's interesting about that? I think you're coming from a Halo fan. I never watched Halo. I never played the Halo game or played the Resident Evil game.
Makes a difference.
And you never played the Resident Evil game, right?
No.
So you're watching this from a perspective that someone who doesn't know nothing about Resident Evil.
I watched the Resident Evil movies.
But that has nothing to do with the games either, really, from my understanding. So
you didn't even play the games either.
I watched someone play the game part 1 a long time ago, and I read about it. But I wasn't like one of those people that like huge fan of it. I just like I said, I didn't play video games during that whole PlayStation era, so yeah, so I don't really know much about it. But overall, you gave it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 4 to a 5.
Wow.
I really enjoyed Lance. I think he was good.
And you give him a 5.
Hey man, the hate for Jade and Billy is strong. But I would say that I did end up finishing the show somehow. I think Lance did a really good job making it entertaining.
You give him a 4 or 5.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. Like like you talked about, it's like a high school girl drama. You know what I mean? That's not for me. You know what I mean?
But the monsters were cool.
It wasn't enough monsters in there. It just I just really didn't like her. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel about the girl from Halo. That's why you haven't even finished it.
You know what's funny? Like the girl from Obi-Wan gets so much hate, but I'm like, hey man, those 2 characters from Halo and this is way worse. That's just my opinion, but it is what it is. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts below. Do you guys like this show? As you can see,
we have different opinions.
One thumb's okay, one thumb down. So
yeah.
Yeah. So
what do you give it, man?
What do you give it? I would say.
Have you seen it?
I would say
finished it.
Yeah, I would definitely say if you haven't watched it, pass unless you have nothing else to do and you want to see it for last performance, and you're just bored, right? You just watched everything else. Why not? But there's a million other shows I will definitely recommend for this. And actually, if you want to see Lance in another show that's really good, watch The Wire. You haven't seen The Wire yet. That's one of the classic shows that everybody should see. Man, so many stars came from that, but that's a whole nother story. So yeah, let us know below. Have you seen it? Love it? Hate it? Who are you, Team Ryan or Team Anna? Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.